Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. So the markets are doing pretty good as far as Bitcoin and Ethereum is concerned. Otherwise, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and the S&P are down today. So is Bitcoin kind of decoupling? We're going to take a look at that. We're also going to take a look at some stories. So here's what we got going on. We'll take a look at the markets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the miners, the Nasdaq as well. We'll take a look at what's going on there. And then we're going to take a look at a couple of stories that we do have. We got a story from Bitcoin breaking out above 28,000 right now. We also have a story from Microsoft, which is testing a built-in cryptocurrency wallet for the Edge browser. This could be huge for us going forward. We'll see if this goes anywhere. Then we also have Fidelity Investments has opened Bitcoin trading to the public. Is this also fueling some of the pump that we're seeing in Bitcoin? We'll take a look at it as well. And then we'll just really quickly look at the miners, see if there's any short interest on them, if it's going down, if it's going up. We'll just kind of go over it really quickly here. So I'll include all of the chapters down in the bottom for you guys, so you guys can skip to the ones that you want. And as always, this is not financial advice for entertainment only. Do your own research. And I'm investing in following closing companies for full disclosure. And if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. So let's get into the markets here really quick. Okay, so S&P was down today 1.1% to 3,916. Dow Jones was down 1.19% to 31,861. And the Nasdaq was down 0.49% to 12,519. Bitcoin, on the other hand, has been doing really well today. It's up almost 9.62%. It was up a little bit higher. Today, the high on it today was 27,834, which has been a great day for Bitcoin here. We've had a pretty solid week as far as increases have been concerned ever since the bad news that we had last week with banks collapsing, everything else. That kind of spooked the markets, but ever since then, it has rebounded quite nicely. So it's doing really good right now. And when I'm talking about Bitcoin decoupling from the Nasdaq a little bit here, if we look at it here, and we'll put up Nasdaq as the same scale for it, we can see here that Nasdaq in the same time frame, which is going back to basically August of last year of 2022, we can see that currently Bitcoin has done better. So Nasdaq is down 8.18% from that time frame, while Bitcoin is up 14%. And if we get a little bit closer here to right around here, which is basically, let's see, when is this? This is right around December 1st of 2022. So only a couple months back, we can see here that Nasdaq is down, or Nasdaq is up actually 4.07%, while Bitcoin is up 67%. So it does seem like we're decoupling from Nasdaq here, at least in the time span that we're looking at. We'll see if this continues going forward. Okay, so that's looking good for us right there. And let's get rid of that. Now, Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart is looking a little overheated here, but we can see that the RSI is lower than it was back here and price is higher, so that's a good sign. Definitely like to see it come down below the 70 mark here on the RSI. This was on Wednesday, and ever since then we've been going back up. We did have a little bit of a pullback here and then back up, which was nice to see. That price also went up higher, while the RSI stayed a little bit lower than the previous high that we reached here. So that's good news there. And if we look at the 1-hour chart, we can see the same thing on it here where we came down. RSI got below 70. We're back up above 70 now at 70. Well, right now we're at 72. We were at 74, but price has gone up. So that's a good sign. So that's a bullish sign. That's what I like to see on that one. Ethereum was also up nicely today here. It was up today. Let's take a look at it in the daily. It was up. Well, right now it's up 6.88% to 1,792. So it's also having a great day. It's also got a little bit more room to run here. RSI is on the daily at 65, so it definitely can go up a lot higher. We can see that price is higher here, even going back to here. And the RSI is much lower than where it was back then. So we do have plenty of room to run, I think. Okay, so that's that one. One other thing to keep an eye on as we enter into this weekend is the CME Futures gap. CME Futures closed at 27,000 today. We are on Bitcoin right now at 27,491. If we get a gap over this weekend again, eventually that gap will more than likely get filled. It doesn't have to get filled, but time has filled going back to those gaps lines. So we'll see where Bitcoin ends up over the weekend. If we're up over 28,000, well, then we have a pretty big gap that we need to fill eventually, I think. So something to be mindful of as well. Okay, so that's it for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the markets. Let's take a look at the miners. The miners did pretty good today also, for the most part. They didn't do as well as Bitcoin has. Only a couple of stocks did better than Bitcoin did here. So let's take a look at what's going on there really quick. So right now we have Andy was up today 6.52%. They were finished out the day at 32 cents. Argo was up 8.39% to $1.68. Bit Digital was up 4.96% to $1.27. Bitfarms was up 3.69% to 87 cents. They were up a little bit higher towards the middle of the day, early on in the day, then they came down a little bit. Cypher was up 18.37% to $2.32, so they had a really good day. CleanSpark was up 6.52% on the day to $2.45. Cores was up 11.45% to 36 cents. DigiHost was up 5.84% to $1.63. DMG was up 4.9 to 22 cents. Greenidge was actually down today 0.35% to 44 cents. Hive was up 5.54% to $3.05. Hut 8 had a nice day, 9.3% here to $1.88. Iris Energy looks like it was flat in the day at $2.98. Marathon was up 7.08% to $8.17. Mawson was up 0.84% to $2.43. Riot was up really good today, 14.89% to $8.10. Soluna was down 3.82% to 26 cents. TeraWulf was also up nicely today at 12.38% to 60 cents. Okay, so that's all the miners there. So like I said, kind of a mixed day. Some of the miners did better than Bitcoin than others. Others just kind of went even below it here, which is kind of surprising. Usually when Bitcoin pumps, the miners usually do a little bit better. So we'll see if this is a new trend that we're seeing or if it's going to eventually flip. I think once Bitcoin gets up a little bit higher, I think the miners will then pick up steam a little bit. But we'll see. So let's take a look at the network hash rate really quick as well. See what's going on with that. We'll update this. And then on the 7-day average, we can see that the network hash rate is increasing to 322 million now. And then the 1-day average, we can see here that it has fallen down a little bit to 290 million right now. Okay. Not a bad sign, not a good sign either, but we are trending upwards either way. Let's take a look at the stories that we do have here, and we'll call it a day. So the first story that we do have is Fidelity Investments has opened Bitcoin trading to the public. This has started just within this week, actually. So customers of Fidelity Investments can now buy Bitcoin through Fidelity Digital Assets. The Fidelity crypto platform first opened to a waitlist in November 2022. It is now available to the public as of yesterday. So this was as of Wednesday. The story came out yesterday. So this was all good news. I think we covered this before in a previous video, but I just wanted to point that out. We also have Bitcoin pumping here a little bit quite nicely this last couple of days. So I wonder if this also has a little bit of impact on it. But one thing to be mindful of is currently that if you are an Fidelity client, you cannot take the funds or the crypto off the exchange there. They're pretty much stuck there for the time being. So while Fidelity is often regarded as a highly trusted institution, it should still be noted that trusted third parties are security holes, and that the only true way to sovereignly use Bitcoin excuse me, is through the holding of one's own private keys. So with a hardware wallet, something like that, whatever you use, whether it's Ledger, another one, whatever it might be, that's the way to go through it right now. But I think it does make it a little bit easier for, obviously, the clients of Fidelity to get into crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, other coins as well. So that's a good thing. I'd love to see them be able to get this so people can actually take the coins off of the exchanges as well. That would be a great thing going forward. And they did say that they are working on it, but they didn't provide a time frame as far as when that's going to happen. Okay. So that's that story really quick. And then Microsoft. Microsoft is testing a built-in cryptocurrency wallet for the Edge browser. This is really interesting. I believe Microsoft has Windows machines, like what, 1 billion users of Windows machines or something like that are using it. And they are pretty much not forcing completely, but they are suggesting their Edge browser is installed on pretty much all these machines, and they are kind of, hinting people to use it. So if we do get mass adoption, you would have basically 1 billion people potentially access to a wallet that would be usable for micropayments, regular payments, things like that, that would be built into the browser anyways. I think most of us live our lives now in the browser anyways. So this would be a great addition, I think, but it has to be definitely well tested, well executed, and easy to use as well. Okay. But here's some of the screenshots that we do have. So Edge is introducing a crypto wallet. A non-custodial crypto wallet gives you exclusive control, integrated security features to protect you from unsecured addresses or apps, simplified experiences that make the Web3 easier to interact with. So this is kind of what they're going through, crypto wallet. Another explanation here. This is as a tester, these are very early builds. These are internal builds for Microsoft right now. This isn't even available to the public yet. And we'll see if this even comes out to the public. But if it does, I think it'd be a great thing. So it does offer you a lot of information here on it. And you can explore, things like that, transact, Coinbase, Moonbase possibly will be added to it as well. And then so far you got USD coin, Tether as well, USD, and that's it. So Microsoft appears to be testing a built-in cryptocurrency wallet for Edge, according to screenshots pulled from beta build of the browser, the feature which the screenshots say is strictly for internal testing. So they are still testing it internally. And hopefully this actually does make it out there. And it would be nice to see some of the other browsers, Mozilla, Chrome, other ones, Safari as well, adopt some sort of wallet as well. I think it'd be kind of cool. So according to the screenshot, the crypto wallet is embedded in Edge, make it easy to use without installing any extension, and it can handle multiple types of cryptocurrencies. It will also record transactions and the value of your individual currencies as they fluctuate. And Explorer tab offers news stories relevant to cryptocurrency, and an Assets tab will let you stare lovingly at your NFTs. The wallet is non-custodial, also called self-custodial, meaning that you have sole ownership of and responsibility for the passwords and recovery keys that allow access to your funds. Microsoft won't be able to let you back in if you lose your credentials. Okay, so obviously you don't want to put all your funds in there. You want to put in only, $10, $20, $50, whatever you're going to be transacting with, so you don't lose everything there. But nonetheless, I think this could be very, very big for us going forward, based on the simple fact that they have so many users of Windows machines. And if they get that out there, I think this is going to be one of those things where we're looking for adoption, and adoption is what we're going to be getting with this as well. Okay, so that's kind of my thoughts on it. Next is Bitcoin Breakout puts 28K in view. The cryptocurrency swift moved above a resistance level dating back to August 2022 has strengthened the case for a continued rally, and which is kind of what we're seeing right now. We did get above our 200 weekly moving average, which is well and great. We might even actually close above that today, which would be fantastic. If we look at it here, right now we only have 11 minutes left on the day. So if we close above our 200 weekly moving average, which is right there at about 25,295, that does put us about 2,000 over that point right there, which is really good for us. Now, the only thing is, will we be able to maintain this level? I think we are. I think our next resistance is going to be right around the 28,000. 28,600 is kind of where I'm seeing it, the next resistance. We'll see if that's going to happen. I doubt it's going to happen over the weekend, but maybe next week we might reach that resistance and test it, but we'll see. Okay, going back to the story here. So here's what they're saying. Having cleared a major resistance level during Friday's Asian trading hours is looking north. Bitcoin is looking north. So the top cryptocurrency rose past 25,000, breaching the resistance dating back to August of 2022 that also kept gains last month. The move has shifted the focus to the next technical hurdle above 28,000, which is what we're seeing, 28,000 something. Bitcoin has now the chance to climb to the next technical level, which is situated at 28,000, I'm saying 28,000 plus. Marcus Thielen, head of research and strategy at crypto financial services firm Metrixport, said. And then within larger price swings, Bitcoin has rallied, reacted, and retested the 4,000 point increment, 16,000, 20,000, 24,000, from which the current breakout is now targeting 28,000, Thielen added. Wall Street's tech-heavy Nasdaq index rose 2.6 on Thursday, confirming a bullish pattern on the daily chart, according to chartered market technician Exol Shibar. Bitcoin tends to move more or less in line with the rate-sensitive technology stocks, which we're actually seeing a little bit of a divergence from those. As I pointed out earlier, we're seeing more higher gains in Bitcoin than we are seeing in the Nasdaq. So it does look like it's decoupling a little bit, or quite a bit, depending on how you look at it. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out, all the stuff that's going on. And then that's it. We have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of interesting stuff. We have got banks failing. We got the Credit Suisse getting rescued. We also have other banks here in the United States getting rescued as well. Potential buyouts are going to be happening. So it definitely a tumultuous time right now in the markets. We'll see how next week is going to go. Right now, we're having a great week in Bitcoin. Hopefully that can continue going forward. Okay, with that being said, let's take a look at the miners here. See if they're getting shorted, if the short interest is coming down on them or not. So with Annie, we can see here that it is getting better for them. That this is based on 228. So this was at the end of last month, the data that we do have. So share short is about 1.6 million shares. It looks like it was 1.9, so that has come down. So that's a good sign there for them. Argo, we got no data on Argo. BitDigital. BitDigital actually shares shorted is increasing on them. So it has increased to 8.3 million from a low here that we had back in, well, the end of December. This was 4.7 million and it is at 8.3 million now. So almost double that. Bitfarms, if we look at it here, has been coming down. So that's good. 8.7 million shorted from the high here that we reached back in October 14th, which was 18 million. So that's a good sign for Bitfarms as well. CleanSpark has also been coming down here to 4.8 million shares being shorted from the high that we reached back in the end of December of 9.6 million shares. Cores, don't have any data on them. DigiHost has been slowly coming down here to 363,000 shares, and we reached a high way back of last year in April of 29th. So this was almost a year ago, and it has been coming down, which is good as well. DMG, no data on them. Greenidge, excuse me, reached a high of short of 3 million shares. This was back on 12/15 of last year, and now we're down to 1.5 million shares, so that's good as well for Greenidge. Hive has actually come up here a little bit. It's come up to 6.6 million shares when we had a low here. I think the lowest was basically just a couple of weeks ago, which was 4.5, and this was, so that's not good for them. They're getting shorted. Hut 8 also, if we look at it, has come down here to 11.2 million shares. We reached a high just about a month ago, or about a month and a half ago, of 14.6 million shares. So that's good for them that's come down a little bit. Iris Energy has come up here on the short interest side, 1.1 million shares. From the bottom that we had of 1 million shares, we had a top here back in 12/15 of last year of 1.5 million shares. So that's not good for Iris Energy. Luxfolio, no data on them. Marathon has been coming down. So 40 million shares shorted here, 40.6 million shares shorted. From the top here that we had 51 million shares. So that's a lot of shares being shorted for Marathon there. But it has been coming down, which is good. Still not as great as it was back last year, right around this time. They were only 17.5 million shares with short interest on them. Then we got Mawson. Mawson has come down quite a bit here, where they are at, let's see here, 72,000 shares shorted. At its peak, it was 585,000 shares shorted, so that's good. Riot has actually come up here a little bit to 31.6 million shares shorted. Its lowest was basically last time this year at about 20.2 million. It peaked at right around the same amount, 31.6 million shares. We got right now 31.6 million shares as well. So that's not good for Riot. Riot has been doing pretty well lately, with the price coming up here nicely in the last couple of weeks. Soluna has come down with short interest to 266,000 from a high here just a couple of weeks ago of 580,000. So that's good for Soluna. And then Stronghold has been going up here quite consistently here to 5.8 million shares shorted. Its lowest was back last year right around this time at 1.5 million shares. And finally, last is TeraWulf. TeraWulf has come down a little bit to 2.6 from its peak at 2.7. So just a slight decrease, not much, but it has come down nonetheless. Okay, so it looks like for the majority of the miners, it does appear that the short interest is coming down for them, which is great. So that's kind of what we want to see. And that will obviously help us with price appreciation going forward. Hopefully the shorts get squeezed and they have to buy, so that's going to be good going forward. Okay, so that's it. So we've had a great, we've had a pretty good week here in Bitcoin with the miners. We'll take a look at how they did over the weekend. So we'll compare Bitcoin to the miners for comparison, see which one did better for the week. Some of the miners, I'm guessing, probably didn't do as well as Bitcoin did, but we'll take a look at it nonetheless, and then we'll see what else that we have to talk about. Okay, so that's it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy it. It's nice that we finally have a little bit longer days here. The sun's still out, which is nice. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe. Until then,